Okay, we are live right now. Told you want to check with the team if it actually works on the page so that we can start.
Yeah.
Okay, especially check with the sound. Live right now. Told you want to check with the team if it actually.
Ờ, dạ vâng, hiện tại team là ổn rồi cô. Mình có thể bắt đầu.
Okay. Live right now. All right. Okay, you can start.
All right. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Anye, and I'm very delighted to be your host for today's workshop titled Writing CV Instruction for Scholarship Hunting. EWR Vietnam hosts this workshop and is being streamed on its official fan page. So today we have an exciting lineup of speakers for you, starting with the incredible Miss Ruby Nguyen. Miss Ruby has not only secured a full scholarship to pursue a Master of Science degree at the prestigious University of Oklahoma State, but she is also the CEO and founder of EWR Vietnam. Let's give her a warm welcome. And Miss Ruby, please turn on your microphone and screen to greet everyone.
Okay. Hello, everyone that is watching. First of all, on behalf of the team, I do apologize for a little bit of a technical glitch, but I am very happy that we are all good right now and very excited for this workshop.
Thank you. Next, we have Bob Van Kang, who is no stranger to academic excellence. He was a student at the renowned English class in Le Phong High School for the gifted. And recently, he has awarded a full scholarship to study in Finland. Let's give him a warm welcome as well. So, Van Kang, please turn on your microphone and screen to greet everyone.
Hello. As Ms. Yi has already introduced everyone, I'm Kang, and I am currently I will be a freshman at Aalto University in Finland, and very excited to be at the workshop, and pretty tired, but I'll try my best. Although not as much of a scholarship hunter expert as Ms. Ruby, I'll try to share what I know, and to help anyone in any way, shape, or form that I can.
So thank you. Throughout this workshop, we will explore three main parts. Firstly, Ms. Ruby will provide valuable instructions on how to effectively write a CV for scholarship applications. Following that, Min Kang will share his personal journey and the experiences he gained while applying for a successful obtaining a 100% scholarship in Finland. And lastly, we encourage you to actively participate by asking questions to both Ms. Ruby and Min Kang, simply by commenting below this live stream, and they will address your queries. So without further ado, let's kickstart this workshop by warmly welcome Ms. Ruby to share her insights on writing a CV effectively for scholarship hunting. Ms. Ruby, the stage is yours.
All right, thank you so much, Ms. Nhi, for such a awesome introduction. So I'll keep it very casual. I do want a lot of interactions, and if there are any questions that I can answer, I would love to. Right, I don't want to follow strictly the structure that I prepare. I'm hoping that whatever parts that you find interested, that we can pause and discuss more about it. And of course, Nhi and Khang, since we are all together in this room, I'm probably going to ask you some questions so that I can engage with somebody. So Tho, can you help me share the slides that I prepare?
Sure.
Thank you.
Because Miss Ruby is the host at the moment and I cannot share. So
Okay,
please
let
make me
me,
co-host.
yes, I can totally do that. I make, actually, I will make you host. Okay. Oh, I wonder if I make you host, would that impact the live stream?
Yeah, I wonder about that. So just make co-host.
Oh, can you switch me up back to host? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. There's no option for co-host though. It's only make host. Okay. If that's the case. Can you resend me the slides so I can?
Yeah, sure.
And also, can you check if it's still live stream or I have to change back? I have to do that again.
Yeah, it's still live stream at the moment.
Okay.
And I have sent you the link to the slide.
All right, awesome. Okay. All right. Okay, so Hang and you be my students today. If you, thank you for that first. But yeah, I would like to start with the questions, right? And I'm sure this is something that, you know, a lot of students or even graduates who are considering about studying abroad will have this question, right? So I guess my question for you personally, what does it mean studying abroad to you? So Hang, do you want to start first? Maybe
Okay.
not now, but like two or I'm sorry, not two, but like a year ago, right? When we first had these conversations, you and I, right? What was studying abroad? You know, what did it mean to you?
Well, I'm pretty sure like studying abroad means a lot of different things to different people. But for me, it was an opportunity to essentially broaden my horizons and to go to a different country because I had lived in Vietnam for 18 years and it was a great experience, but I had wanted to just experience a different culture, different people, and to get a chance myself to meet, yeah, just new people and get to know new experiences. And obviously, so I went to U and, you know, I found Finland. And 1 year ago, I had never thought that I would be studying here because I had different plans. But 1 year later, it's definitely not a decision I regret because I've only been here for a week and I've already experienced so many things and I can't wait for all the things that is to come. And also, it is not only an opportunity to meet new people and get to know different cultures and to experience new things. It is also an opportunity to study at a very prestigious university. Obviously, not everyone will get the not everyone can attend these universities as their financial situation or anything, but studying abroad is already a prestige in itself and will be a great privilege for anyone. So yeah, I would say that studying abroad, to me, it means a privilege. It means an opportunity to know new things. And yeah, I am very grateful that I have the circumstances to go study abroad.
Awesome. Thank you, King. That's a really great answer. All right, Nhi, do you have any thoughts about studying abroad?
Well, actually, for me, studying abroad I haven't made clear of it. Like just me thinking of going abroad, going to another country, meeting a lot of new friends, new environments, and I have a lot of things to adapt and have to change a lot, and I have to move forward as fast as possible. So for me, going to study abroad is giving me a chance to improve and learn something new.
Mhm. Wonderful, wonderful. And thank you both. And I like the fact that you mentioned, because a lot of times we think about studying abroad as something that's very awesome, very grand, very exciting, right? But we forgot to talk about the cons of it, right? You moving to a complete new country, meeting like, I would say, right, by the time that you land on the new country, probably everybody is almost strangers to us. So there's a lot of challenges as well. So we have to be very mentally prepared for that. But in a grand scheme of things, I really do think that from my personal experiences, studying abroad from my bachelor up to now of my PhD, they're very wonderful experiences. I've learned so much and I've grown so much from them as well. Okay, so thank you for it. So really go back to the main topic of today. I really want you guys to understand the audience. I'm sure Kang and Yi, you guys already have some ideas about this, but in order for you to apply for, your undergraduate, or more importantly, to study abroad, and to even have access or to have opportunity to apply for scholarship, it is important for us to understand two types of documents. The first one is what we usually know as CV or a resume, and another one is what we call a cover letter. Usually these are the two types of documents that are almost compulsory when you apply to any universities at the undergraduate or also the graduate level. And it's particularly more important when you're considering to study abroad or want to apply for a scholarship. All right, so Kang, I can see that you're like, it's like memories of coming back. So I actually want to ask you if you actually have if also university required you to submit either or both these documents in the applications package.
Actually, also, whilst do requiring a cover letter, I don't remember actually quite if they asked my resume, because I did make a resume, but I'm pretty sure that was for a different university. But they did require a cover letter, and whilst requiring it, it was not like the cover letter I don't think was what I got was the thing that made me got a scholarship. It was more due to my SAT scores. But yes, I do have some experience writing cover letters, not a lot, not as much as other scholarship hunters. So I can't say for certain like what an exceptional cover letter is consists of, is consisted of. So yeah, of course, Alta University required both of these things, but you had to do proper research into what your university really prioritized and really puts heavy weight on, and to really, really go deep on that, whether they require a good SAT score or they require a good GPA. Try to prioritize that. And of course, if they require an exceptional cover letter and an essay, you must also prioritize that. So yeah, I would say that to know your priorities and to prioritize them accordingly. Yeah.
I totally agree with you on that, because like you said, not every universities really put an emphasis on either of these documents. Usually some of the university actually look at your GPA and also your test scores, right? But overall, right, from my personal experiences, especially like art a lot of art focused major, they would really look at your resume and also your cover letter. So on this slide, I just want to ask you guys a quick question, because the resume is on your left side and the cover letter is on your right side, right? What will be the key difference here in terms of format? Nhi, I might want to ask you this question. So what do you think is the main difference between a resume and a cover letter? So again, the resume is on your left side and the cover letter is on the right side.
So I think that the key difference here is about the concept of it. Like the CV, the resume is a little bit colorful, while the cover letter is simple, keep it formal. Yeah. So,
Okay. Yeah. No, I like it. Well, the colorful thing, we'll talk about it later. But if you look at it, all right, and when we compare these two documents, you realize that the resume, it's more of a bullet points template, right? Whereas the cover letter, it's in an essay format, right? So that's sort of the key difference here. And in terms of the purpose, right? Resume is for you to really kind of like sketch out or really explain about your educations and job experiences in a chronological order, right? And if there are any unique or special skills you would like to highlight here as well to really impress the admission committee, okay? And then the cover letter, it's more like, this is where you kind of tell your story because it's in an essay form, right? So you have you have the platform to really expand and really share who you are as a person, of course, in relations to the university and the major that you've chosen. Okay, so that is the key differences, I would say, between a resume and a cover letter. A lot of us will probably be more familiar with a resume or, again, CV, because that's, again, probably one of the things that required in the application package. However, cover letters, only very top-notch universities would probably require it, and they would probably look at it a lot more carefully if they want to select you as a scholarship recipient. Okay, so that will be the main difference. Okay, so for resume, I would just gonna give you a couple of bullet points here to explain to you that these are some of the things that you will need in order to draft out your resume. You will probably need a short statement about yourself. Very 2 to 3 sentences really capture, right, who you are as a person and what you want to achieve in the future. Then, of course, it's important to have your educations. So if you are considering an applications package for your undergraduate, then you probably need your GPA. I'm assuming at least grade 11 up to grade 12. Maybe sometimes you have to even talk about mention about your secondary high school results as well, GPA. And then, very important, achievements, awards, and honors. Honestly, this is something that easier said than done, right? Because you can not just lie about it, right? To put it plainly, you actually have to be very prepared about it. And I might ask Hang about this. Achievement and also extracurricular activities are the two things that if you want to apply for, a university outside of Vietnam, they're very particular about these two. And again, like I mentioned, it's not something that you can just think of out of nowhere. This is something that requires a lot of planning. So I want to ask, like, Heng, during your, applications journey, right? Were you considering about all of this, and how did you plan about this?
Well, during my application journey, I didn't the thing I prioritized the most was my SAT score. So you could say that I prioritized the most the education part of my resume, as my school didn't particularly ask for any outstanding extracurriculars or achievements and honors. It just asked for a pretty high and top tier SAT score, so I poured all my effort into that in order to get the best score possible. And I think that's very important, as you have to plan out what your priorities are, as I've already said, and to really, really go hard on that, because knowing what you need is very important. And like, don't just inflate your resume with things that you think are important. Do fill it with things that are important to the university that you want to apply to. I think that's very important.
Yeah, I agree. But I do also know that you got involved during your high school. It's not, I know that, you know, because you're very focused on auto applications, that's where you really focus on your SAT. But I know that really from the beginning, you already wanted to be involved. Was that something that it's just you wanted to do it, or you already thought about it in the future, like for your futures and stuff?
Like, like from the beginning, Alto was something that I was interested in. It was not something that I had my eyes set on entirely. So obviously, at first, I didn't really prioritize SAT or anything like that. Like, I was still looking at different options, different schools in different countries. But like after a very thoughtful like thinking process, and really, really getting to the root of my decision, I decided to just pick Alto and really, really go down on SAT, because this year, especially, they really prioritize it. I'm pretty sure Alto's SAT admission scores have risen a lot. So yeah, I would recommend everyone to really know what their goals are and what their dream university is. It's not as easy as it sounds, but trying to do that and actually succeeding in doing that would help you a lot in building your resume, a suitable one for your dream university. That's what I think.
All right, awesome. Thank you. How about you, Nhi? What is your personal opinion about, you know, writing a resume or a CV?
I haven't done it before, so it would like to say that I will focus on my education, like GPA, that I will do the best at school, because curricular activities need a lot of effort. Like you have said before, that we have to repeat it for a real long time, and I really have to have a plan to go abroad, and it's about make it about 1 year, so that I could have more extracurricular activities.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I kind of agree with both. I do agree with both of you. But for me, I'm a big person on achievement, I guess. I guess I'm just gonna put it out there. So for me, I want to really pile up my achievement and honors, because I think that would be something that really helped me stand out from the rest of the candidates. Because again, my major is hospitality and tourism. It's a very, I guess it's not a science focused major, so usually the GPA wouldn't be something that truly reflect my skills in computer science. And so that is the reason why, right? For me specifically, I would need to really be involved in extra curricular activities, and I really need to you know, use achievement and awards in order to really, how do I say it, highlight, right, my resume and CV. So again, back to what Kang said, it's important to really know what you wanted to do in terms of major and what sort of university that you want to apply to, because again, each of these universities have very, very specific requirements, right? So you have to really plan backward, right? Know what they want and then plan it out. Writing the resume, honestly, is just the final touch, right? You have to prepare, right, as early as possible. Okay. All right. So that would be my part, I guess my take on a resume. There's a lot of more little details that I probably don't have time to go deep into, but this is some of, I guess, the key takeaways from writing a resume. Again, it's not about writing it. It's about the process and the journey of preparing it. Yeah. All right. And then a cover letter. I would go very, very briefly on this as well. But again, cover letter actually something that a little bit excited me more, because I think it's more challenging and it's the chance for you to really tell who you are as a person. Again, the key word here is the story. I have the opportunities to mentor a few students in terms of their cover letter, right? And I think one of the biggest mistake is that you write very general, right? You think of the things, like the best things that you could write about, but usually they don't really speak true to yourself. So what I wanted you to remember when you write a cover letter, right? It's important, extremely paramount for you to think of who you are as a person and try to convey that message to the admission committee through the cover letter. Okay, again, Kang, have you ever written a cover letter? So you said Auto did ask for it. So did you write one? And what is your, I guess, thoughts or opinions about it?
I did write one. It's not really a cover letter, it was a motivation letter. Everyone had to write it. But like from the beginning, I had heard from like students that had studied at Alto before, and they literally said that the cover letter and the motivation letter was just like an application tool and to decipher between two people who are even regarding to the SAT scores. So I did not put as much thought and effort into my motivation letter as I could have. Obviously, I applied to other schools as well. One school in Finland called Tampere. I applied to that, and that school did require a pretty detailed motivation letter. And I did spend time. I did spend time and effort actually like writing that letter for Tampere. But at the end, I realized that Tampere was not what I wanted to go, where I wanted to go, and yeah, I focused entirely on Alto and tried to get my SAT as high as possible.
Okay, very great. Yeah, again, I think that's a very consistent message that we want to take away from this workshop, right? We really want to know what sort of decision, what sort of university you want to, because again, the requirement is very different, even from one city or one country, right? Yeah. Okay. How about Nhi? Have you heard of cover letter before?
Well, I do heard of cover letter before, like a lot of clips on the TikTok show me that. I should have cover letter when I wrote my CV next to it, it's cover letter, and they often have a format of it. Like, what should I write in it? It's kind of specific, different from yours. And I want to ask a little bit like that. Is there a lot of difference between writing a cover letter of Master of Science like you and like university students like me?
Definitely, because because your experience will completely be different from mine. Again, good question, right? So the cover letter will be extremely different at different level of your education. So for example, if you're a high school student applying to an undergraduate major, will be completely different from a person like me who wants to apply for a PhD level. Because right now, right, the university, for example, at a PhD level, my focus will be my research experiences as well as my teaching experiences. So in my cover letter, I really need to tell stories, my own stories. How did I, how was my exposure to these two? Research and teaching, and a little bit of services as well, as in like how were I involved in like different student support activities. So the content will be completely different at different levels, right? So if you're considering at your level right now, if you're considering for a master level, then I really think that it's important for you to really think about achievements and honors and awards as well, along with like your skills and competencies, and especially your job experiences. At the master level, they will actually focus a lot on your job experiences. Not so much at the undergraduate level. It's more like extracurricular activities, or like you said, your GPA, but at the master level, they will look at skills. And at the PhD level, then start looking at research experiences. So again, coming back to your question, their focus, right, will be different as you move up from your education level. Okay. But I guess from my experiences, I think that it's important to stick to your story, and also to really study about your university, your major, and how are you going to tell them that you are a good fit, right? Your personality, your uniqueness, right? Who you are, your true self, how that would make a good fit with the university and the major that you've chosen. Because from the admissions committee perspective, they want to find you as a good fit, as a great compatibility with the school, right? It's like create a special long-term bond, right? They're not gonna choose the best, right? It's not what they want to choose. They want to choose the one that could fit in the organization's culture the most. And please remember that it's really not about having the best result and the best performance. Sometimes that would probably not gonna, help you to be selected. It's really about the fit and the compatibility. So really remember that. Okay. All right. I think that's it. Okay. Yeah, there's a game. I mean, I don't think we have time for this, right? So I think I'm just gonna stop right here, and I'm gonna pass it to Nhi and Heng so that Heng can share more about his journey, because honestly, I'm speaking from a perspective of a person who hasn't done this for a long time, right? It's more of a mentor perspective, so it's gonna be very different. I might look at it a little bit easier than, a high schooler trying to do everything right now with a lot of workload at school, and now you have another things to focus on, right? So it's probably a lot of challenges. So I guess, yeah, the stage is yours, guys.
So before we move forward, I would like to express my gratitude to Miss Ruby for her priceless instructions and tips on writing an impressive resume. And I believe that her insights will be of great help to students who are striving to make a lasting impression. So thank you, Miss Ruby, again. So joining us next is Minh Kang. So he will share his remarkable journey towards achieving a full scholarship in Finland. Minh Kang, we would love to hear your story.
Okay, so this is about my story. All right. So it started in essentially July of last year. I had just gotten some very unfortunate news regarding some other study abroad opportunities. And I decided to say, yeah, let's find a different opportunity. And I went searching. And searching I did. I found a lot of opportunities for myself, like the very famous ones, the Erasmus program, the Chevening program, etc. All of those were recommended by Miss Ruby herself. And I eventually landed my eyes upon Aalto University in Finland. Obviously, Finland's reputation for education has always been very top-notch, and I was interested. Not only because Finland was a pretty niche choice. Most people go and study abroad would probably opt for America, Australia, Canada, etc. So yeah, Finland didn't seem like your typical run-of-the-mill choice, and I decided to just wing it and put Aalto University as the top priority for myself, because not only is it an opportunity to meet new people and new culture, it is also an opportunity to study at a very prestigious university. And at first, when I had heard of how to get into Aalto University, and it is by getting a pretty high SAT score of, if you want to get in this year, you essentially have to get a 1450 plus, and in order to guarantee a scholarship is 1500, and that's not for every major. So the requirements for the SAT were pretty high, and I had to study in order to reach that goal of mine. And luckily I did. I took the December SAT test and I met my requirement. And after I met my SAT requirement, all I had to do was write my motivation letter and to prepare everything for my resume. And slowly and gradually, I did everything that was required of me through the university, and I got in. And yeah, it's only been a week in Finland so far, and I've really enjoyed the journey. Although there are some very, very, very big bumps that you will meet at the start of every university studying abroad journey. So yeah, I would say that's essentially it for my journey. Yeah, it was fun. It was not too stressful as some of my friends. I saw them stressing out because of university application. Yeah, I would say to know your goals, be driven towards your goal, but don't be too stressed out about it. Yeah.
So again, thank you, Minh Khang, for sharing your wonderful story with us. I believe your experience are sure to serve a marvelous inspiration for those who are currently navigating their own scholarship hunting journeys. And as we move to the final part of this workshop, I want to remind all of our viewers that you can send in your questions to Ms. Ruby and Minh Khang by commenting below. We eagerly await for your queries.
Okay, Kang, I have a question. When did you know that you want to study abroad, right? Because obviously before anything, right? I mean, when you're like very sure about that, then it gets a little bit easier, because you're really gonna be focused on it and you're gonna, get your priorities fixed, right? But when did we know? How could we know, right? At your age, right? How did you realize that studying abroad is for you?
Actually, I don't quite remember. Like, it's always been in a part of my mind. And I think it's part of the culture of being an English major student. In that class, you're always being motivated to go abroad and study. I think that played a part too. But probably due to the motivation of wanting to meet new people, experience new stuff, and also from motivation from my family. They really wanted me to just essentially be living on my own at 18. And essentially, yeah, it's, I don't know when it started, but I can tell you how it started. Yeah, that's for sure. Due to probably motivation from my family and just being part of the culture. Yes.
Okay. I see.
Well, we have heard about Minh Khang's journey of his know that he want to go study abroad. How about you, Ms. Ruby? When did you know that you want to study abroad? What brings you to go abroad?
Surprisingly, very similar to what Kang said, now that I remember about it, because again, it's been very, very long, right? I started first, like Kang, after my high school. But I think I'm pretty sure it was when I turned, it was when I was in grade 11. I've always wanted to, I guess it's the same. It's never something like, yes, in that particular time of my life, I knew it. But I think along the line of like, I wanted to, move out of Vietnam again. I think it's more like I have a family background where my parents are extremely overprotective. So if I've always kind of been craving for that independence. At that time I didn't really know, what sort of ways to really have that. But again, right, at school, right, I was in Winning High School, and there was a very big culture of, studying abroad as well. And especially for, being in an English major class like Hang, right, we've always talked about it. And I've seen other of my peers study abroad at a very young age as well, like maybe even like when they just started high school, right, their parents already kind of like prep for them so that they can study abroad, high school somewhere else, overseas in an overseas high school. So yeah, for me it was like, first I've solved the issue that I don't have to be close to my parents anymore. Sounds funny, but at that age you really wanted that. But I've also know that I really am interested in meeting new people, learning about new cultures. Very exciting about it. I guess this is something that a lot of hospitality major people have in their blood. So I think you can really relate with me in terms of that. And and then when the opportunity arose, actually, I didn't really know what kind of university I want to apply to until the university came into my high school and, kind of like advertise about it. And especially what's the best part about it, it was that they had a full scholarship for students who would like to pursue an undergraduate major at their university. Yeah, so I guess that was something that I really wanted to kind of stress. Also, the timing was a very big thing for me. The timing. At that time, I was ready, and then the opportunity came, and yeah, I guess that's it. And then let's do it. I guess that's more of my personal journey. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we have a question here on the live stream that how long should it be for a resume? I mean, how many pages?
What's the length of a resume, right? I think, to be honest, there again, okay, I'm gonna probably answer this question in a more broad and general typical standard. Usually it shouldn't be more than 2 pages, right? It should be from 1 up to 2 page. Usually 1 is better, especially if you're at if you're a high schooler applying to an undergraduate level. It is not expected of you to write a 3 or 4 page resume. That's almost impossible, right? So it's important for you to be extremely selective in terms of the content that you wanted to put into your resume, so that it doesn't seem like you're being extremely lengthy and in a very unnecessary way, right? People don't really care. Imagine if your I guess applications package, right, was being considered, right? Usually the admissions committee will have to go through like thousands and thousands of applications. They're not going to have time to read all of these 4 pages, for example, right? So it's important to be extremely succinct and concise and put all the things that you want to highlight, like the best of you, in the first few lines of your resume. That would probably be my advice. However, when you're applying to a master or a PhD level, this is when you probably want to expand your CV pages, as in like you want to input more of your work and research experiences, right? Because there's a lot more required from you when you apply for a master and PhD level. So yeah, but in a nutshell, 1 to 2 pages. And earlier when you mentioned about like the colors and stuff, honestly, from my perspective, because I see a lot of my students also focus way too much on decorating the resume. It's not really something that actually matters in the eyes of the admissions committee. They want to see the content of it again. So don't waste time on, making it look pretty or anything. Sometimes it can actually backfire, and it seems like you're being very unprofessional and want to use, colors to really distract the readers from the content, right? So I would really recommend you to read, research a lot of, good samples of a resume, and then you go from there. But again, right, 1 to 2 page, try to be succinct as possible, and do not try to decorate way too much. Yeah.
So thank you, Ms. B. And we have another question here that, should we put our LinkedIn link into our CV?
I don't think it hurts. Yeah, why not? Yes, the answer is yes. Yeah, I don't think it hurts. Definitely, especially in this days and age, right? Everybody have their own social media. I wouldn't recommend you to put your Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, but LinkedIn, definitely. It really showcase your professionalism, right? Okay, maybe start having your LinkedIn as well. Right? I know this is something that you think only people who start working need it, but not really. Start as early as possible. You will really impress people sooner or later, and jobs will come to you, I'm telling you. Mhm.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I have my LinkedIn profile, though it has nothing on it.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, now you can start, putting in stuff. Yeah. And also have a very professional picture. As funny as it sounds, but whenever I ask my students, especially at high school level, they never have a good, like, professional headshot, right? Have this, wear your best suit, and have somebody to take you to, like, to help you to take a very professional, high quality picture. It showcase your professionalism, and it will impress people as well. Very important.
So we have another question here that should I focus on the quality of my extracurricular activities?
I'm going to put this to Kang. It's a good questions to ask Kang.
That's not a very good question to ask me. Yeah.
You were in the music club or something, right?
Yeah, I was, but it didn't have anything to do with what I wanted to do, so it was hard, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think that's a very good question to ask me, I would say.
But like, considering like you're in your class, right? And I know a lot of your peers were very involved in like extracurricular activities, right? So from, like, observing your peers and how involved they were, what will be your thoughts or takeaway from it?
Yeah, let's say, yeah, people in my class were very involved in extracurriculars, and I think essentially all of them were involved in it for the right reasons, because they were interested, not because they wanted something to inflate their CV. And yeah, it shows in their academic results and their admission results. So yeah, I would say be involved in extracurriculars, but only the ones that you're really interested in, not just to inflate your CV. Yeah, that would be my opinion.
Yeah, no, actually, I love that. I was hoping that you're going to say something like that, because obviously we don't want to give you the wrong mindset, right? Again, extracurricular activity, it's not there for you to apply for a study abroad application. It's there for you to grow yourself, to improve to increase or enhance your personal development, to connect with new people, to experience life, right? So do the things that you're actually interested in. Whatever you do will make an impact on your resume, right? So I think it's important to be more like, okay, who I am and what I want to do and what sort of areas that I want to, be involved in, not about, quality or quantity of those extracurricular activities. And you have to also think about time management as well, right? Especially at the university level, at the undergraduate level, maybe Nhi can really chip in on this, but I see that a lot of undergraduate students, sometimes they got carried away with their work and their extracurricular activities, and they couldn't focus on their education. So I really hope that you guys can see that you want to strike a balance here. And again, GPA is extremely important, guys. It's not all about it, but it is a very important benchmark in your resume and your CV. So do think about it, and think about the consequence of not focusing on your educations as well, because this is something that you can never take back. You have one or two tests, or that course you can only take once, right? After it, then it's going to be a great burden on you financially and time-wise and all of that. So please focus on your education as well. But I want to hear from you. I'm sure you get involved too.
Well, I believe that it sometimes could be hard for us to balance between the GPA and the quality of extracurricular activities. But I do believe so. I do believe that the GPA play a crucial role in our resume, our cover letters, and that's the reason why I study a lot, study hard at school,
That's great.
and a little bit of extracurricular activities. Yeah.
Yeah. But you got you participate in a debate competition and the champion of it also. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for remembering.
I'm so proud of you. That's awesome to know.
Yeah, and we have a question here that where can I participate in quality extracurricular activities?
Kang, I'm probably going to ask you because this is more of, you know, what you and your peers know more. Like in Ho Chi Minh City, I guess, like what sort of, you know, quality extracurricular activities that people can get involved? Any international organizations, you know, that have been very active about this, that, you know, students like you can get involved?
Yeah, I know a few. I've participated in not a lot, but my friends have. So yeah, obviously probably the most famous one, especially for those who wants to go into like more political majors or anything. I would say attend a few MUNs, Model United Nations. They are all over the country, and essentially like half my class has have attended one of these in their high school years. I personally have not, but I found it very interesting and very helpful for a lot of people. Not only that, if you're in the vicinity of Ho Chi Minh City, you can always try out, you know, very big organizations like Sugar. That's very big. And if you don't really want to get involved in any of that, joining your school clubs is totally fine.
Yeah, I agree.
That's
You know, at my time, I don't think we had a lot of school clubs, right? But I guess now there's so many things you can do just from within the school campus. So really take full advantage of it, right? It's an experience, right? Don't stress out as in something you have to do to fill in your resume. Think of it as a really good opportunity to get involved, to connect with people, to really, you know, gain new experiences very early on in your life.
So I do believe that we have quite a lot of questions. So we have only one last one. Okay, so if you want to study master PhD level, what should we focus on during university besides GPA?
Yeah, so I guess I can help you guys with this. Again, I think for master level, it honestly depends on the major that you wanted to apply for as well. But I think, again, like I mentioned earlier, it's important if you have job experiences. I know it's hard, right? But at the master level, people already expect that you already work. Okay, so try to, if you're planning to like move like immediately, you know, to apply to a master program immediately after your undergraduate level, you probably have to do a bunch of different jobs during your undergraduate level already. And here, when I mention a bunch of jobs, it has to have some relation with, you know, it has to have some sort of connections with the major that you want to apply to, right? For example, if I want to apply for a hospitality major, which I did, I had to have some work experiences in restaurants and hotels, etc. So for master level, please focus on your job and your professional skills. If you can, make sure you have, throughout your undergraduate level, try to earn as many professional certifications as possible. Of course, those that have been recognized internationally, so that you really stand out from, you know, your candidate pool. So master, again, job, professional skills, and of course, a little bit of research skill if you're thinking about your master. It's like a bridge to your PhD level. And a lot of times some university here in the US, right, if you apply for a master level and it's a research focused university, they would really appreciate your research experiences. And I remember talking a lot about this when I was working at UEH University as well, as in like, you guys really need to start learning how to do research as early as possible. It's such a valuable skill to have, even though if you're not going to become a teacher or anything, you might need it for market research. It's such a good skill to have to really improve your critical thinking as well. So anyway, in a nutshell, so professional skill, job experiences, usually be involved in the things that related to your major, take part in competitions, learn more about research. Those sort of things gonna be very important for you at a master level and above.
Oh, and we gotta go to the end of this section. Before we end, I have a special thanks to both Ms. Ruby and Min Kang for your dedicated efforts in answering the questions, and that will come in our way. So your expertise and insights are truly appreciated. Thank you a lot. And last but not least, I want to express my gratitude to all of you, the viewers, for staying with us until this moment. EWR Vietnam hopes that today's sharing will be a valuable resource for you on your scholarship hunting journey. Goodbye for now, and we're looking forward to see you at the next workshop by EWR Vietnam.
Are we good?
Yeah.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you so much.
All your questions will be answered after.
I hope you don't get cold too soon.
I'm already cold.
Oh, you're already cold.
Yeah.
Okay, but before we go, do you have any final advice for whoever is considering to study abroad?
Since one of my friends just actually asked how to go study abroad, I would say know your goals and to set them early and to work towards it.
That's tough, to be honest. Sometimes it's hard to know what you want as well, because I've talked to people because honestly, sorry, not trying to extend the workshop more than it should be, but I want you to realize that in Vietnam, right, in our culture, sometimes it's hard to really know who you are and what do you want. So I would suggest, right, talking to a lot of people. Maybe if you're interested in a major, right, find ways to connect with people who are currently in that major or work in that job, and really ask about the good and also the bad things and that comes with the job, right? So that's how you really know if you can experience it, right? Take an internship. I don't know, be out there and try it out before you make your commitment. I would probably put that, Okay, but that's it. All right, we're good, Nhi. Can leave now?
Yeah.
All right, bye-bye, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Ruby.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Or you can end the live stream too.
Oh, how do I do that? How can I end it live stream?
God, I don't know how to. Cole, can you help us with ending the live stream?
Yeah, I think that we just leave the meeting and the live stream will
And it
start.
should work. Okay,
Yeah.
let's all leave the meeting, guys. Good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.